Well, what are we doing today, Kathy? There's no out of context summary, so I am at a loss of how to start this.
Maybe you can guess which one's my favorite season instead. I don't know.
What? What season?
Wait, so you serious? Favorite game, not season.
Oh my god.
It's been too long for us since we recorded.
Okay.
We're not in recording mood yet.
What do we say? Welcome to the season 1 wrap-up episode.
I mean, that's not bad.
Well, welcome. But we're doing, season 1 wrap-off. Now that I would listen to.
Yes. We are doing our season 1 wrap-up.
And first annual KFC Awards.
Yes. Kathy's favorite characters.
Among other things. I think our first topic is just going to be, what was your favorite game this season? Season 1, we're done. We played like 3.5 games. What was your favorite one, Kathy?
As much as I liked Wolf Among Us, just for like the aesthetic and the storyline's pretty good. And then Whistleblower, because I mean, there's some relief knowing that Miles didn't die for nothing. I have to say that my favorite game is going to be Yakuza 0 because it's what started everything for Replay Reviews Pod, but it's also the storyline is so well written. You go through so many different emotions. It's my first time watching a game and going like through happy moments, sad moments, bromance moments, romance moments.
The two answers.
Mm-hmm. Yes, seriously.
It checks both boxes.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that it makes you want to cry, like how many people can say that of a video? Not even a TV show sometimes makes you want to cry. But this video game, like when Tachibana dies or knowing that Majima Makoto, still a lot of grief over that. You don't get that emotions from video games really rarely.
That's true. I've played a lot and there's been 3 that I've teared up at. This was really hard for me because I also had to edit the gameplay.
Oh, yeah.
And Yakuza 0 was the biggest pain in everything to edit. And so I just like have a little bit of spite towards it now.
Oh no.
But that being said, I feel like the best game from start to finish with like the least issues is Whistleblower. I think just considering it's a DLC, it felt like a full game and it added so much to the main game without pulling any of the like intensity punches that we saw from the base game. But my favorite, not necessarily out of like, is it technically a good game, but which one was the most fun for me? It's not the Wolf Among Us just because the gameplay is less intensive. So I feel like I have to say Yakuza 0 is the most fun. It's not as technically good as Whistleblower or Outlast, but it's the most fun. Since it's so hard for me to pick a favorite game out of games that are already my favorite games, I have decided that I'm going to guess the IMDb scores for each game, and you're going to tell me if I'm right. So I don't know if you want to share your screen because I kind of want to see it with my own eyes.
So I'm not lying to you.
I'm going to try to take a sip of this tea, but I might burn my whole mouth. So just
I burnt my tongue this morning today, so.
I sounded like Toad.
We'll need to keep that instead of beeping. You can put your screaming like that. Okay.
I'm too scared. I can't. It's so steamy and it's in a Yeti, so I can't. I'm too scared.
Don't do that. Don't try it.
My guess, IMDb score for Yakuza 0, I have it rated the lowest, 8.3.
Okay, you ready? Drum roll.
I am ready.
8.9.
Oh! Hey, I'm glad that it's higher than I thought. The next best one I had, Wolf Among Us, at 8.5.
Drum roll. Wait, sorry.
You gotta click into it. Man, that was a letdown.
I know, sorry. 8.9 again.
Oh, man. What the heck? I was closer, though.
Okay.
I've been pretty close. Okay, Outlast, I have at a 9.
Oh, high hopes. Outlast. Drum roll. 8.3. Lower.
8.3. Oh, no. Well, now I'm feeling really bad about
Okay.
my Whistleblower rating. But I did 9.2.
I think this one might get higher. Drum roll. 8.3.
8.3. You know what? That's a little suspicious that they have the same rating.
I don't know what to tell you.
I'll accept it though. I was completely backwards.
Yakuza and Wolf Among Us.
I apologize. So
Favorite moment.
Next topic of discussion: favorite moment from each game, and I have a feeling that we went a little different. Maybe even interpreting this topic. So should we talk about Yakuza 0 first? Go in order.
Favorite moment? It's when Nishiki joins Kiryu in that fight where they're both fighting shirtless. So it's not because of that, but it's the moment where you think that
hurt though.
It doesn't hurt.
For
I
the
agree.
Case of favorite
it
moment.
doesn't. It doesn't hurt. Add some spiciness to it.
Calm down.
No, but it's like when you see him, you think that this is the moment that Nishiki's gonna betray Kiryu. That when it really comes down to like the pressure and everything, he's going to choose the Yakuza life over his best friend, and you get proven wrong, and you realize that that is a defining moment where you know no matter what pathway or where Kiryu is, Nishiki's always going to be by his side to support him. He's loyal to his friend over the whole Yakuza, and they fight hand in hand, back to back. And I think it cements that fear where you can say that I'll always support you, but it's actions that really determine all, right? And this is the action it shows Kiryu that he's always going to have a brother in Nishiki.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at me.
Okay.
Because I was right, and we went...
Oh, no.
We went way different.
Okay, what did you say?
Let me just read what I wrote in my notes for you for my favorite moment from Yakuza 0.
Okay.
The Awano screech.
That is pretty good. That's a classic. That is pretty good.
I feel inferior to you right now, and I'm a little worried that the trend is going to continue based off the rest of my notes. So what was your favorite from Wolf Among Us?
I'd say pretty much any moment with TJ or Colin in it, but if I have to choose one, it's the moment where we find Colin. I would say it's the moment when Colin winks at Bigby, because we just know that he's spared from becoming bacon.
You know, it's funny because I also chose the Colin wink. But what is it about the wink? Besides the fact that it's a pig carrying a 6-pack, winking at a werewolf. Outlast?
Okay, I'll be honest. It took me it really made me think because there's not much Outlast I can see.
You closed your eyes for so much of it.
Well, I mean, like, first of all, it's my first horror game. Before watching Whistleblower, I was so irritated at the game that it was really hard. I'd say within that storyline, my favorite would have to be, and it's going to sound really dumb, but it's him leaving his car at the very beginning, because without him leaving that car, Waylon would have never been able to escape, and it would have never brought us to that full circle. So I think it's that very intro. That's the only part I liked about the game.
So you hated it. That's the only part you liked.
I did, yeah.
Waylon is lucky that Miles is the type of person to leave his keys in the car.
Yes, that too. Mm-hmm.
Which I don't recommend, but it worked out in this case. I already have started laughing at mine. Can you guess what it is?
Trigger and his butt cheeks.
It was on the list, but that's not what I decided.
Probably Father Martin lighting himself up.
Did I laugh at that?
I don't know.
It's not the self arson. It's your accidental joke of massive size. That was the best laughing fit I have had in a long time.
Yes.
So thank you.
Oh, yes. That was so much fun to edit too. So Whistleblower, you probably can guess what my favorite part is, but
the ending.
Oh my god! Literally, this is word for word what I wrote. The ending and having that peace of mind that Miles didn't die for nothing. So seriously, the ending.
And he could even be controlling the Walrider, and now it's a good spirit. What do they call him? Benevolent.
Yeah,
it's not evil anymore. Perhaps the Walrider is now helping people out. My favorite was Darling. I just can't. So
and without that span of 2 minutes, he's making all these suggestive comments like,
yeah, It goes from like darling to let me fill that hole inside of you. It's like,
yeah. Gosh,
I feel like we missed a transition somewhere. We really jumped not just a couple steps, a couple flights of stairs between comments here. Should we move on to afterthoughts?
In the middle of the night, I woke up and I wrote some comments on my phone to ask you. But I have a few rapid fire would you rather questions for you.
Oh no.
Okay. Would you rather would you rather
like how I said oh no and you said okay. Sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Would you rather kill Toad Jr. or kill Colin?
Colin.
Oh no, really? Even though you
Number
like
one, he's gonna taste better. Number two, TJ's a child.
Okay, would you rather Tachibana die again or have Waylon die?
Waylon die.
But if Waylon dies, though, nothing ever goes out, so it pretty much ends with Miles as the Wall Rider, though.
Well, let me start from Tachibana. One of my all-time favorite characters in that series.
Mm-hmm.
One of the more tragic deaths I've witnessed in a video game.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to be able to reverse that. As far as Waylon dying, we know more than one journalist was summoned. And we've already had 2 people in this situation within the span of a couple weeks and even overlapping on the same night, both with a video camera. I feel like the odds, based off of what we've seen, are fairly good for someone else to pick up the torch, so to speak. So I just feel like there's more chance of actually reversing series of events by saving Tachibana's life than if Waylon dies. I feel like there's still more opportunity there.
Next one. Would you rather die by being tortured by Gluskin, probably with him trying to make you from going from guy to girl, or die by Wernicke taking your body and doing what he did to Billy?
Well, I feel like this is pretty easy considering I'm already a woman.
Well, no, if you're... He'll make you a man first.
I'm going to choose Wernicke because Miles found a way to control it. Billy may have found a way to control it. And you're not dead for sure. I feel like with Gluskin, you're not dead, but you definitely want to be. I feel like that Gluskin is pretty much the worst case scenario for anybody.
So next one. Would you rather fight alongside Sera and his people or Kiryu and Majima and their people?
I would say from my heart, I'd rather fight with those main characters. But logically, I feel like I would be more well suited to the more stealthy style of like what Sarah's doing. I'm small and I'm quiet. I don't know if that, I didn't really pick one, so I don't know if that answers your question enough.
I'll let you get away with it.
All right.
And last question. If you're a Bigby and you find out that Snow White did some crime or everything, would you give it your chance of dating Snow White? Or would you prosecute her and then have her hate you forever, but maybe win back the hope and the trust from the community?
What did she do?
No, I didn't think that far into it.
There's a spectrum here. If it's murder, not letting her get away with it. I know what you're getting at, though.
Yeah.
So it's hard because I know her character so well that I know she wouldn't do anything, at least not purposefully.
What if she did like a breaking and entering and burning down Auntie Greeley's tree?
Yeah, I was just going to say we have seen her get a little aggressive with the tree. If she did that, I feel like I would probably prosecute her. Because I feel like at the end of the day, she would realize that she was wrong. Because we did hear her, at the end scene say, like, oh, I've made mistakes. So I feel like she would, at some point, come around and be like, you were right.
Well, that's all I had.
Well, now I feel like I need to just pull one out of my butt to ask you.
Oh, no, you don't have to.
How weird is this going to get? Would you rather have your ear licked by Andrew Earlicker or have the last digit of your pinky cut off?
Oh, gosh. Is it a one-time lick or is it multiple licks?
I'm going to go the same as the video, so we don't see the actual tongue, but what I envision is like a pretty good lick and then maybe like a follow-up quick. little quick one.
If it's like a one-time thing with no consequences, then I think I'd suffer through the lick just to keep my pinky finger.
Fair. I don't know which one would haunt you more, though. Well, that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I just had 2 afterthoughts. One of them is pretty quick, and we might have discussed it already, so
Mm-hmm.
if we have, just tell me to shut up. But what happened to Warnicki? Did Miles kill him?
I think so.
Or... Okay.
Yeah. I think, like, why would Miles leave Wernicke alive after everything he's been through and being in control of the Wall Rider? He absolutely has more than earned the right to kill him.
Okay. So we think he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
But here's my big one. Had Bigby met Faith before the events of this game? Because the very first time they meet is when he says, I feel like we've met before. And then later when she's Nerissa, she says, you're trying to place me.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd already seen her before at that point. But when he says, I feel like we've met before, in this game, we haven't seen him meet her. So has he met her a third time prior to the events of this game?
You know what I think? What if he did meet her, but not in the form of Faith or Nerissa? What if she has the ability to be these two people? Maybe she has the ability to be a third person, and that's who Bigby met. Like, Bigby met them in a different form.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I don't know, maybe, like, one theory, we know that with Crane in charge, the business office was kind of, like, lax. So maybe she had gone to them for help and then didn't receive it. We have another segment. I'm really excited for it. You want to introduce it?
It is the KFC Awards. Kathy's Favorite Character Awards.
Once again, not sponsored by a KFC, but here's hoping. Send me some popcorn chicken, please.
And those potato wedges are great.
Have you had their Mountain Dew? This is turning into a full-on, like, ad read for them. Have you had their exclusive Mountain Dew flavor?
No, I haven't. Is it good?
It's good. It's like peach and honey.
Oh my gosh, that sounds great. KFC. So the first category we have is Extra Crispy KFC. So this is my favorite character of all the KFCs. Going back, because we didn't start the segment for Yakuza 0, it would have been Nishiki. And for Wolf Among Us, it's Toad Jr. For Outlast, it would be Dr. Neil, who advocates for finger paints, and Waylon for Whistleblower. So of those 4, Leah, who do you think is my Extra Crispy KFC?
Okay, I'm not locking yet.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking out loud. I feel like the obvious choice is Nishiki. Just because I know how obsessed you got with him while we were watching the game. But, so I feel like the 2 Outlast ones, pretty weak, right? Like, Neil, I really like Neil just because it's so funny. Like, let the man have his finger paints. And Waylon is like, there really wasn't another choice.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like automatically those 2 are weaker. I really want to say Nishiki, but I feel like you're going to pull a fast one. I feel like it's Toad Jr.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
You should have gone with Nishiki.
No, dude.
I have all my reasons out. It's his loyalty to Kiryu and his good looks, obviously. And I'm really looking forward to his makeover in the first game. Is it like a makeover or just an outfit change? I can't remember.
It happens mid-game.
Oh, dang. I
It's,
could see it immediately. Gotta wait.
You need to stop asking me questions.
Okay. Okay.
If people are listening, they know what I'm referring to.
Yeah, please don't spoil it for me.
I'm 0 for 1 right now.
Next up is the Kentucky Scorcher.
Yeah, this is the what KFC calls their spicy sandwich. And so this is the spiciest character, as in hot.
Yes.
Is Nishiki in every category?
I'm sorry, but yes. So we have Nishiki, we have Bigby. I feel like at this point we have no choice but to say probably Chris.
No.
I mean, like, what do you want me to say? Like the big dog guys?
I thought you might at least go with the normal human in Miles.
Well, but here's the thing though, we don't get to see Miles though, so I don't count Miles or Waylon because we don't get to see them.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay,
I guess
that's
fair.
I will say that. So I mean, like Chris Walker over Father Martin for Whistleblower. It's a SWAT guys.
Not the Wall Rider?
No.
I didn't think this through for Outlast.
Okay.
This is cracking me up. Well, I can see the appeal in all of them.
Yeah.
But let me rank them in what I think he chose. Last, Chris Walker. SWAT guys. They're in a uniform, that's points. And then Big B. I think he might be a little hairy for your taste. And then Nishiki. Nishiki's the top.
Yes.
Okay. I'm 1 for 2 now.
Yes. Biggest creep. Get away from me, Gluskin, or nasty Nishitani?
Mm-hmm. For me, it's Gluskin. But you hated the absolute everything out of Nishitani when we were watching that game. So I'm going to go with Nishitani.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, Leah. No. I feel like Nishitani, very, very minimal credit for his willingness to sacrifice his life just to get Majima out there quick enough. So I feel like that just earned him a tad bump up. And so I'd say the bigger creep is get away from me, Gluskin.
Fair.
Nishitani was like groping females, but at least it seemed like there was some kind of consent. Gluskin's just straight up just cut like parts out of men.
That's true. I guess there is a wide berth between feeling someone up and miming self-pleasure versus cutting a dong off and and a vagina. Like, he was doing both. So, fair.
And it's not even that. It's like, oh, you died? Well, sucks for you. I'm going to toss you off the table and do it again. Last one. Best booty moment out of all the games. And we're counting almost booty moments, ABMs.
ABMs and FBMs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. let me hear them. Actually, you should let me see them.
Well,
You got screenshots.
I didn't do screenshots. I did it strictly out of memory. So here's the thing, though. We don't really get booty moments from Wolf Among Us. I couldn't recall any.
We get implied booty moment in that game.
Really? When?
He's naked twice. When he transforms into full wolf.
Okay.
When he's fighting Bloody Mary, and then when he's chasing Georgie and Vivian, and he has to grab the clothes from the clothesline.
Okay.
So there are 2 implied booty moments, IBMs.
Okay. Well, we'll include IBMs then. 1. Kiryu showering at Tachibana's place. The OG ABM.
Mm-hmm.
The second one would be Wolf Among Us. We get a wolf butt. And Outlast, we get general SDWDOs. I feel like that's just one whole category. Like, there's no moment for that. For Outlast or Whistleblower, I think we have a few more general ABMs. We have, obviously, with Gluskin killing people and rolling people off the beds and stuff. And then you have people like just dangling from the ceilings. And I will give you free hints, and it's not either Outlast or Whistleblower.
Well, I was just going to say, I fell like I can just strike Whistleblower off now.
Because
you don't even know what you're looking at half the time. You just like icy cheeks. I think that's a butt. And then Outlast they're very intimidating. So those are intimidating FBMs. They're frightening. They're attached to frightening people. So those are going to be a no. And then we're down to, like, implied booty versus almost booty.
Originally, it was going to be forearm versus ABMs.
Okay.
A good forearm. Well, I'm telling you.
Either way, one is clearly weaker than the other. It's got to be the Kiryu shower ABM.
Mm-hmm. It's the OG moment. It sparked us into really focusing on butts in this game, so...
It did. It captured our attention.
Yes.
So I'm 2 for 4.
Mm-hmm.
Abysmal. Anything else you want to say about any of the games we played?
I was gonna ask you, who is your LFC?
My favorite character. Let me ponder. I feel like I have to go with Big B, just because I understand him more, and like we're both kind of like subdued in most situations.
Mm-hmm.
Personality-wise, I'm the closest to him.
Okay.
And that would be why he would be my favorite.
I guess, what was your favorite booty moment then?
I mean, I feel like I have to agree with the shower.
Mm-hmm.
But it just feels wrong that the FBMs are losing out. Because
Right?
there's actual booty. I mean, we see a little dimples at the top of Kiryu's.
Okay, so what about Kentucky Scorcher?
This is where it's hard to be a woman because we can't help including personality
Yeah.
into this. I just need to gather screenshots of characters
yes.
before you play the games.
Oh
And
my
you do
gosh,
your
yes.
ratings before you learn who they are.
Oh my
And
gosh,
then we
yes.
see by the end if you have the same.
Yes, let's do it.
I guess I'll say Majima has the best combo.
And I'd say that you'd agree with me about Gluskin being the bigger creep than Nishitani.
Yeah, I would. He's
Mhm.
he's the day-old chicken.
He's a stale biscuit. Well, that wraps up our KFC Awards segment.
First annual. Should we just get into what to expect moving forward?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this is our season 1 wrap-up, so you probably have figured out by now that we're doing a season format. We're going to continue, but we both do have full-time jobs, thankfully, that we enjoy. So number 1, we can't do this without getting burnt out every week, and we don't want to sacrifice quality for quantity. But we're aiming to have an episode released every week for a majority of the year. We're going to do 5 games next year and see how that shakes out, and if we can add more down the line, we will. But we also, again, want it to stay fun and organic for us, and we don't want too much pressure on it, so we're not going to be monetizing because the purpose of this is not to make money. That being said, though, I mean, I think we would like to do giveaways at some point.
Or even a format where if you donate to your local charity, send us a screenshot and we'll give you a shout out.
Yes. And then potentially down the line we could do like a listener's choice for which game we add into this season. Next season we're doing Kathy's choice, so I gave her an assortment of games to view the trailers on and pick one, so that'll be announced later, but at some point it might be fun to let the listeners decide. And I think maybe the biggest announcement, do you know what I'm going to say? Do you want to say it?
No.
Music!
Music!
I think we've maybe narrowed down our music, so we will hopefully sound more real and like a legit podcast next season with an actual intro and outro. The days of Yakuza 0 are far behind us. Those were some rough cuts.
We're more practiced speakers now. We don't say as much anymore. Although we edit a lot out.
I am still the slayer in editing. There I go. That is what to expect. We're aiming for around June, but maybe a few extra things to be released before then. We're always open to feedback, criticism. I'm really excited for the games next season, Kathy.
Me too. But I want to give a quick shout out to all our listeners. We really appreciate you, and we like to do this for fun, and I'm really hoping that you're having fun listening to us talk. It's just, really, it boils down to 2 friends who really enjoy watching games and sharing our analysis with you.
Exactly, and we can't see a whole lot from our analytical info, but we know some of you have been here since day 1, and you've not left, and if you made it through those Yakuza 0 episodes,
Yes.
props to you. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, we have an Instagram, Replay Reviews Pod, and we're on YouTube, Replay Reviews Pod, where we post our gameplay and the podcast episodes. So if you'd rather do that, that's cool. And I think that's pretty much it. Email us if you have game suggestions or anything else. replayreviewspod@gmail.com. They're all the same. It should be easy.
Thank you all. So we'll end at 1, 3, 2, 1.